so much on what goes on from the neck down that we forget it all starts from here. Everything starts from here. If you're not mentally ready, you're never really physically prepared. And that's where the preparation starts. I firmly believe that everybody in this room, everybody on this planet has a gift. It's your job to figure out what that gift is. Then it becomes your job to decide whether you're going to act on that or not. Everyone sees the work that you put in, but it's what you don't see is going to determine how far you're going to get. I hear stuff all the time. People say, oh, look in the mirror and you'll see why you're not succeeding. I don't believe that. Okay? It's what you don't see in the mirror. That's what's holding you back. It's what you're not willing to see is why talent is not enough. And when you finally see it and accept it and decide to work on it, then you can take that next level.
And the right heroes. I mean, I've always been lucky in that respect. And if the people you look up to are going to form your vision of what the world, how you want to be in later life. And I'll give you two pieces of advice. I'd invest as much in myself as you can. I mean, you're your own biggest asset by far. I mean, you've got all kinds of potential. All the people in this room, you're lucky to be in this country, got a good education. But most people go through life using up a very, very small part of their potential. And so if anything you do that invests in yourself, that's the best investment you can possibly make. And then I would follow my passion. I mean, whatever turns you on. I was lucky. I found something early that turned me on. But you don't want to take a job just for the money. You don't want to take a job for an organization that you really don't feel good about, or work for people that you don't feel good about. You really want to be excited when you get out of bed every morning. And it won't necessarily be the job that you have 10 years later, but you'll be learning so much as you go along. And I took a job with Ben Graham, my hero, and I never asked the salary, and I found at the end of the month when I got my first paycheck what I was earning, because I just knew it was the right thing to be doing. So I would follow your passion.
I think happiness trumps everything. Easy for me to say because it really worked out for me, because happiness coincides with financial upside. I have friends who make $74,000 a year that are just happier people than friends that are making $18 million a year that are not. You've got to do you, but please don't let the entrepreneurial society, don't let your parents push you into what success is. It's different for all of us, but, and this is the big but, you got to be self-aware about it.
Yeah, who you spend time with is who you become. Because whoever you spend time with affects your beliefs and your values, and your need for their love, their attention, their significance will affect. If I'm going to play tennis and I play someone worse than I am on a regular basis, I'm not going to get better.
Right. So you play tennis.
Yeah, you do that. Even if you play terrible, your skill sets are going to grow significantly because of your desire to connect and to play at that level.
And I should be the weakest link in my chain that I have, and that'll make me be stronger. It'll make me run faster. I mean, like an analogy I've always used is, all right, if you run the 100-yard dash with people that can't run as fast as you, yeah, you'll win. Hands down, you know that. But if you run with people much faster than you, all right, yeah, you might come in last every single time, but your time will be better because they're making you run all the faster. They're making you dig down just a little bit more. It doesn't matter that you won, your time is faster. And that's what I knew I had to do. I had to get out of Loserville and throw myself into a place where, like, this is what fuckers do for a living.
The reality is going out and trying to do something, whether it's to make it on your own, it's to start your own company, to write a book, or to pursue some artistic career, you are facing adversity day in and day out. People don't like what you do. It's easier to quit. You run out of inspiration. You think this opportunity is going to be your big shot and it doesn't pan out, or you get fired, or you get bumped. There's what it really is a day in and day out kind of adversity, right? It's never as easy as you think it is. It never goes as smoothly as you think it is. And I think obviously how we respond to these sort of pivotal moments of enormous adversity is one thing, but I am more interested in how you bounce back day in and day out. How do you get up and do the work, and get up and do the work, and get up and do the work, and deal with the problems as they come your way.
it is completely in your control and it's completely identifiable. And it's only when people don't want to believe that very simple truth. And if you guys know Occam's razor, right? The simplest answer is usually the right answer. The simplest answer is probably not some big conspiracy against you or the department that you're in or whatever. It's you're not doing a good enough job. Steve Martin wrote a book called Be So Good They Can't Ignore You.
It's like the masterpiece is enjoying your life to the utmost and having the most success with your family, with your friends, the most relationship success, the most harmony with the people that you come in contact with. But that doesn't seem to be rewarded the same way in our world as like someone who's got some baller house and a fucking helicopter picks him up and he's got golden underwear. And,
but that fades, right?
Yeah, it does. But
they can have that. They can have that helicopter. And I guarantee you that it fades, and they want something new. There's something new that you're desiring past that.
Like if you're born into like some super wealthy multi-billionaire family, and you've got a Ferrari when you're 16, and you know you drive around there, fly around everywhere in private jets, and you live in a giant mansion. I just don't think that you can ever appreciate.
No, definitely not.
The difficulty.
So the first important lesson that I want to impart to you is the importance of escaping what I call the comparison paradigm. Okay, so you basically have the self-acceptance paradigm and the comparison paradigm. And let me point out some things to you that you might have never thought about. All right, so say you don't make a lot of money, or let's say that you're not that tall or you're not that good looking. Well, think about this for a minute. Imagine you're making 100 grand a year. Okay, you're making $100,000 a year. Sounds like a lot, right? Well, what if I told you that when you make about 100 grand a year, you move into a neighborhood where you probably have friends that are making 500,000 a year or even $1 million a year? Well, what happens if you move into a neighborhood where people are making $1 million a year? You're going to be around people who are making $10 million a year. How about if you make 10 million? You'll be around people making 50 million. Well, do you think that you would feel secure with yourself if you had $50 million a year? You think you would, right? Actually, what I would tell you is that unless you fix the inner issue, you still probably wouldn't. Because when you're making 50 million a year, now you're comparing yourself to people that are called old money. And old money laughs in the face of $50 million a year, okay? Old money laughs in the face of $50 million a year. In fact, you will never win. You will never win in this paradigm. I remember being out in the Lincoln Mall in Miami South Beach, and I went to this watch store. I think it was called Arthur Miller or something like that. And they had these like $100,000 watches. And out of curiosity, I said, "How do you sell these? Who's interested in stuff like this?" Just not like in a mean or judgmental way. I was just curious. And she was like, "Well, when you can't bring your yacht to the restaurant, you can wear your Arthur Miller watch." And why do people do that? Well, I think they do it because they need for people to see that they have the big yacht in order to feel comfortable with themselves. It's like when their yacht's not around, they feel naked. It's almost like if you have your favorite shirt and you're not wearing it, you don't feel good. As you get more and more money, you buy your favorite yacht. You don't feel comfortable if you don't have your favorite yacht around. You're in celebrity circles, but actually celebrities aren't even average compared to old money. Whatever circle you're in, there's always somebody who has more. Okay, there was a great Nas lyric where he talked about this, where he's like, you know, rappers, we think we're so tight because we got like a gold grill or a Rolex watch, or you know, like heated floors. There's people with a piece of artwork in their house that's worth more than your gold grill, your heated floor, and everything that you own. One little piece of artwork. Okay, so if you're comparing yourself, you're not gonna win, no matter how much cash you make. You have to get out of that paradigm. All it is pure insecurity. In fact.
Alrighty. Congratulations, everybody. It is Tuesday. Think and Grow Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Let me see here. All right, biggest takeaways from that motivational video. If you're not prepared, if you're not mentally prepared, you're never going to be physically ready. Right? It all starts with our mind. This game is 100% mental, right? Let me see here. I've said it before. I'm going to keep saying it again. It's 100% mental. Right? Let's see who's on. Efren, welcome. Miss Danielle, everybody say hi to Danielle. This is her first team call. Congratulations. Granny, Miss Michelle, welcome. Big Kenneth, Leslie, Mark Andres, Mr. Frank, Xavier, congratulations. Somebody just wrote on my screen. See this big yellow line? When you guys wrote on my screen, please erase it. I cannot erase it. So, let's see here. Let's look at the chat. See how the successful view of you, see the successful view of you now. Don't compare yourself to others. How do you respond to adversity? Someone always has more. It's not about how much you make, it's about your mindset. right? So it's 100% mental. So it's, you know, we're talking about the self-awareness. That's what he's talking about. Don't compare yourself to others. You're not as far as long in the business as you want to be. You're not where you want to be. Don't compare yourself to others. Focus on yourself, your self-awareness, how you can get better every single day, right? And surround yourself with people who make you better. So like he said, you know, one of the biggest things, Quentin Tarantino, that I got from him, he said, you run with people and you might win, or you run with people who are better than you, you might lose, but your time will be faster, right? How are you stretching yourself every day? How are you growing? How are you moving forward? What connections are you making to move your business forward? What are you doing to move your business forward, right? What are you doing? What steps are you taking? How much time and energy do you put into building those relationships? If you hang around 4 broke people, you'll be the 5th. You hang around 4 successful investors, you're going to be the 5th, right? It's 100% mental. How we perceive ourselves, how we look at ourselves, is ultimately how we're going to perform. So I want to congratulate every single one of you guys for being on. Today is Tuesday. So before we jump into anything, I want to just go over some of the events. So Wednesday, tomorrow, Stockton Intro at 7 p.m., 42 North Sutter. I will not be able to be there because I have a family matter that I cannot reschedule. So I need you guys to go there and represent, bring some guests over there, go show some support, some love. Okay. This Saturday, this Super Saturday in Sacramento, they'll be going over the marketing and self-development. You guys should definitely take a look at being there. And then I know people had some questions about regionals. I know Mark put it in the, what is it, the 27th? Let me see. I know it's September 27th through the 28th. So it's on a Thursday and Friday. So I need you guys to be aware of that. All right, it's Thursday and a Friday. It's all day trainings. All right, now this is regionals. We do this once a year. So we're going to have people coming from Seattle. We're going to have most of the people from the West Coast coming to Sacramento. So this gives you a great opportunity for you to network with investors from Seattle, from Arizona. You're going to have people all over from California as well. Last year when I went, I gathered over 40 people, and a few of them invested in some of the deals I had. So this is what I said: set up yourself for success. Go out there, and Renatus, you're automatically wealthy in relationships, right? But you still have to take the time to build those relationships. So, for example, Miss Danielle, who's in South Carolina, she's on tonight. She was in LA for the weekend. It's not very often that we're close in proximity. So what did we do? We met up. I flew down to LA. We took the time to hang out and grow with each other, right? And then Ryan, who's from Hawaii, was also down in LA, and we got to meet up, right? So we're wealthy in relationships. We have people we could plug into, but you still have to make the effort. So do not miss regionals, September 27th to 28th in Sacramento. It's a must go. Cannot tell you the deals, the people, the resources, the knowledge. We talked about surrounding yourself with people who make you better. You're going to see what people, you can talk to people. What are you doing? What's working for you? How can I help you in your business? Right? We want to build locally, but we want to think globally. Okay. So, just wanted to clarify. Is there any questions about that? So tomorrow, Wednesday, Stockton. Saturday, Sacramento, and then September 27th to 28th was regionals. So any questions about that? No? It's in Roseville, yeah. Oh, so it's in Roseville. Leslie will get the information on that, and the address. I know she was in contact with Miss Lisa. So I want to make this a little bit interactive. So I want you guys to tell me some successes you had this week, some things that didn't go so well. I want you guys to, ask me some questions. What can I do to help you guys with some burning desires that I can help you guys with right now, so we can really get into, progressing in this business. Okay. So I will start. The project we had in Citrus Heights, we had roots in our sewer system, and so we spent an extra $3,000 on that. So that was fun, right? So how can I improve that, right? So what we do is we look at evaluating every situation in our business. How can we improve it? How can we have better systems? Unfortunately, the only thing I could do was get that plumber out there to snake it. And how can I have caught it quicker? That's how I'm looking at it. And, besides having a plumbing inspection while I'm going through my walkthroughs, there's nothing much more I could have did, right? Thankfully, we did it before we closed up the property, right? So we were able to catch it, so it's a little easier. But also how I can improve is I got to kind of assume that that's going to happen with the older property, right? So these projects, they're fun, but they're not always pretty. We're definitely having some growing pains with the Citrus Heights deal. Thankfully, the market is up a little bit more than we anticipated, and we'll be able to sell it more, right? But we're always looking on how can we improve? How can we make this better, right? How can we do better? So what do you guys have going on that I can help you guys with as far as your business? What successes did you guys have this week? Because ultimately, I'm going to write this down. Ultimately, we want to enjoy the process of success, right? You always hear people, it's not the destination and the journey. And it's very true, man. I mean, it's really a fun time to go out there, and the struggles and the challenges, and the person who you become through the process is ultimately the success, right? Sometimes we can get overwhelmed with things that come our way, how you can choose to react. And the growth that you have during the process is really enjoyable, right? It's really enjoyable. My success, Mr. Frank. I got a good number of people coming to Stockton and Cashville in Manteca. Awesome. These people are possible private money lenders and a few deal finders. Phenomenal. Congratulations. Right? So how did you find these people, Mr. Frank? What are some of the ways that, that now you're getting some people out? When you take a look at it, what did you do differently in order to attract people who have possible money, or people who are interested now in coming out? What have you done differently? We always want to evaluate the process so that we can build upon it, we can refine it, we can tune it, and we can make it better. And then it becomes second nature. It's a procedure, it's a process in your business, right? It's duplicatable. So,
okay. So I've been getting a few different places. One main one, I had the recommendation of calling people who are already in the real estate profession and just saying, have you ever thought about doing real estate investing to supplement your income and what you're already doing? And I got a script from Christian Sadler, it's very simple. It's it's a process. It's meant to get them through a process to get information and keep the information, or keep the interest going. And so like last week, I got about 8 people from calling people just who are in occupations or in real estate. I got 2 leads from a Craigslist ad, and I think we got 1 from Signs. We got 2 from Signs? Okay, and a couple from Signs. So we got about 11 or so people who've committed to an event between just straight up calling. That was a big one. And it's been a combination. Some people are, hey, Can I bring a friend? This friend, he's done real estate with me, and he has more money than he knows what to do with, and he's trying to figure out what to do with it. And I'm like, yeah, sure, invite him. Another lady called me on one of my ads. She says, I go around and I put notice of default reminders in everyone's door or mailbox, and I do about 1,000 of those a month. So I figure I might as well learn the real estate side. And I said, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's it. And even if she doesn't, even if nothing happens from it, she's a good contact where I could continue to possibly get some pre-foreclosures, foreclosures deals out of those.
Heck yeah. So basically, congratulations on that first and foremost, but they're always looking for people, properties, and resources. So and
one of them was from a bank, that one I told you about. And I've just gotten the habit of just asking people, have you thought of earning extra money in real estate? And then let them talk their story, and then they'll say they have a friend, or they'll say what they have to bring to the table. And I'm amazed at what connections from a short few weeks or so of just calling people, of what resources are starting to expand between possibility of private money lenders, possibility of people bringing deals, just things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? So people, properties, and resources. And, one thing I'm going to, say with that is progress or activity creates momentum in your business. So let's just say, you're out here talking to people, you're driving the business. Maybe that lady doesn't work out with working with us, but she's a resource that's going to help your real estate business. That's why just going out there, putting in the activity and the work is going to, there's a different compensation with that, right? It's not always about money. You're going to get compensated for relationships that you never know what leads you to, right? I had a guy today. We went and looked at 3 properties in Sacramento because of another gentleman who introduced us, right? You just never know who you're going to meet, what resource you're going to bring, what property you can obtain, who you can help, what lender you're going to get, what family you can change, right? And that's the business we're in. And, and it's great, right? And one of the things I'm also going to hit on is you said you use scripts, right? So professionals use scripts, novices don't. So if you notice, most of the professionals or most of the high income earners or, top investors, they're always saying the same thing, right? When they're talking to prospects or when they're talking to, money lenders or when they're talking to homeowners, you want to develop that so that you're professional in how you're sounding. And it's a foreseeable outcome, right? We all talk about the system, right? And the reason why we like systems is because it gives us a predictable outcome, right? So congratulations, Mr. Frank, on that. That's a great success.
One more plug I wanted to kind of make I've been resistant to doing marketing for the longest time. We always kind of feel uncomfortable marketing it we're afraid what people are going to say or reject or this or that. But what I was talking to Christian about is I did not realize that all these other possibilities, these other resources, people are popping up, people who will find deals, people who will fund deals, people who are just in the real estate industry. I'm like, this is a huge way to grow my own team. So that I did not see coming from marketing, which is a huge thing now. And then what you said on scripts, that's why I love calling, is because I'll have the script right in front of me and I'll just go, if I ever get stuck, if I'm like, oh, what do I do next? There's the next step. And I just basically, I've just practiced it word for word till it sounds natural. And so I like having that in front of me. They don't know I'm reading a script and I've naturalized it, but I send them through a particular process, but it's not too complicated.
Yeah. Right. I mean, really, like I said, what I'm going to pertain that is this business is 100% mental. You said you didn't want marketing because you're afraid of what people might say, when really, I got to go back to the 4 core beliefs. That's something I always tell myself is, we're doing them a favor by, reaching out to them. Everybody does need Renatus. It's their loss if they say no. Right. And so, you know, sometimes we get in our own head and make stories that aren't true, right? Worried about what they're saying. You know, this is a no business, right, guys? You know, or if you're getting, you know, you're going to get a lot more no's and yeses, and that's okay, because we're not looking for everybody. We're not looking for every property, and I'm not working to work with every single person, you know, and, you know, but, you know, you do people a disservice if you don't tell them, right? You're doing people a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. And that goes with, you know, just telling people you are in real estate investing, letting every single person you know that you help people in real estate challenges, letting everybody know you can help them pay less in taxes, letting everybody know you can show them how to pay a 30-year mortgage off in a fraction of the time, right? It's like you're doing them a disservice and you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not doing that, right? So don't be scared to go out there and market yourself and help others, because that's how you guys are going to drive business. That's how you guys are going to brand yourself of helping others. And that's how you guys are ultimately going to achieve the goals you guys want to produce, by taking yourself out of your comfort zone, sometimes getting out of our own head, right? I understand that, and driving the business and doing it whatever the hell it takes to get it done. All right. So I commend you getting over your hurdle with, you know, telling people about this opportunity, or not telling people about this opportunity, just telling people that you're in real estate. Whatever you guys might have going on internally, only you guys know that. You know, don't be so selfish, right? You want to help people out. You want to, you know, if you're not out here driving your business, who are you ultimately hurting? And that's ourselves. That's your family. That's your bank account, right? That's the other families and the other people out there that ultimately need our help. Right. So thanks for sharing, Mr. Frank. I know that Kenny, we're going to go take a look at a property tomorrow. Kenny got a lead from a real estate agent. So if you guys are not reaching out to real estate agents and letting them know you buy houses, you guys are doing your business a disservice, right? So I am going to go over that. Let me see. Let me use this. So Kenny got a lead from a real estate agent. And one of the biggest things I underutilized, and this is an off-market deal, right? It's not on the market yet. We're going to go look at it together tomorrow. And one of the biggest things I underutilized when I first got in real estate investing was agents. For some reason, you know, there's this big stigma that agents, you know, don't know what they're talking about. And that's true for most. But that's also true for most investors. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, right? So we want to get that stigma out of our head, because the statistics say 90% of people go through agents first, or contact real estate agents first. 90%, that's 9 out of 10. Before they're going to call an investor, or before they're going to put it for sale by owner, before they do anything, 90% of people contact agents. So shouldn't we be contacting agents and letting them know what we do? Right? I know we talked about this before, and Kenny's, you know, just reiterated it. So I'm going to give you guys a script again. Just let him know that you're looking for some properties with off-market properties with some upside. Now, make sure you guys are saying off-market and with some upside. So that's very general, but that's kind of gives them the incentive to contact you or to send it to you, anything with upside, right? We just want leads, and we just want to put in offers. Leads and offers, leads and offers, leads and offers, right? So, you know, make sure you guys are putting that inside your daily basis of contacting agents, looking for off-market properties with some upside, right? Make sure you guys are contacting other people outside of the real estate industry. Make sure you guys are going to these networking events, right? You guys will get very quickly deals a lot quicker that way, right? Also, so I need everybody to respond to this. How many does every single person you know what you do? I want you guys to type a Y or an N in the chat. Okay. So Miss Michelle, now would you guys say, if everybody in your contact list knows that you buy houses, a lot of people are saying yes, but are you guys telling me if you contacted everybody in your phone, they know that you buy houses and that they should contact you first? Wire N in the chat. All right, so this is what I want you guys to do. This is another thing that helps me get leads on properties. I send out a mass text message. And the reason why, and you can do phone calls too. And I want you guys to really do this. Like, I really guys want you guys to do this. I want you guys okay, so some of you say no, right? So they know, but not the way I can know I can help them. Not the way I can, not the way I know I can help them. So then no, right? So no, right? Let's just call it what it is. Like, we need to get better at our audio business card, basically what we call it, right? What do you guys do? How do you guys help? How do you guys help people? Right? So what I want you guys to do, I want to give you guys some homework. I want you guys to at least text your, it's not hard to text people. I know sometimes you guys can do calls or text, but I want you guys to create an audio business card. Right? What is it that you do? So for example, I help distressed owners and landlords homeowners and landlords I help with their problems so they can spend more time with their families. Repairs. So this is an example one, right? And this is why I give you guys this example. We want to first claim what we do. I help, right? So what do? You're helping. And then this is going to be your target market. So my target market is distressed homeowners and landlords by buying their problem properties. This is a verb. So they can spend more time with their families and not dealing with repairs. And this is, how do you say it? Incentive, not incentive. So they can spend more time with their incentive and pain. So basically how it's gonna help them and a little bit of their pain, right? This is what we do in our ATM market. Benefit, there we go. Perfect. Benefit. So I want you guys to create your guys' own, whatever that may be. Now for the marketing side, I help, for example, I help underpaid contractors keep more of their profits on their projects so they can spend more time at the beach and not breaking their back, right? What you can do is create, you should have all of the different ones at all times. So audio business card, when somebody asks you, what do? You should be able to give them, depending on who you're talking to, one of these phrases you guys have, right? We have multiple different ones. Same thing. I show homeowners how to pay off their mortgage in a fraction of their time so that they can spend more time and money with their family instead of to the banks, right? So you want to create what you do, that action, your target, and the benefit. So what I want you guys to do this week I want you to figure out what that is for you, right? And you could just put distressed landlords or homeowners, make it a little bit more simpler. And I want you guys to send a text message out. And then you followed up with the question. Always follow up with the questions. If you asking the questions, you control the conversation. So, do you know anyone that could use my help? And you'll be surprised like how many people know about somebody else's situation going on, and you'll actually get a referral. So I want you guys to create this. And I want you guys to send a text message out to 50 people. It's really not that hard. There's different text messaging apps where you can actually send one message one time instead of copying and pasting, or you can copy and paste and send it individually. The text message app I use, let me see. It is called, this is for, I'm a Galaxy user. All right, so it'll be Android. The one I use is called Multi SMS Sender. So what I'll do is I can actually send like 1,000 text messages one time, and it'll just send it out one by one, so I don't have to send it over and over and over again. I do this every so often to leads. I do this to people just to stay in touch. And I want you guys to see how many people you can actually generate some leads. Maybe you can invite them out, see how you can help, start a conversation. Okay. Now, I don't want you guys to just listen to this and do nothing this week, right? I want you guys to actually apply what we're talking about so we can see and test and market and build off of it. So I want a commitment from everybody. Who will do this text message? I want to see a Y in the chat. I want to see it from every single person, especially from Ms. Danielle. 50 people. Okay, cool. And watch what happens. Okay, see what happens, right? And make it to yourself, right? Make it what you guys are really trying to do, right? So let me do this. I plus action benefit and then follow-up question. So that's the formula. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, if you want to. So do you know anybody that could use my help? I offer referral fees. Right? Yeah, include it. Make it to yourself, what your target is, what you're trying to do. Get this. Somebody wrote on my screen this yellow line, and it's in my this yellow line. I know you know who you are. All right, so do that. I want you guys to, we're gonna create these action items, and I want to see, and create multiple ones, right? You want to create multiple ones, different ones. This will also help you when you're out there networking events, when you're out there telling people what you do. You want to create the curiosity, And what you also learn is when you get better at it and you're practicing, when you talk to certain people, you can actually move it around so that it's directly to who you're talking to, right? Say I'm talking to a single mother. I help single mothers, blank, right? Contractors, boom. Private lenders, boom. I help people who are not getting a good enough return in their retirement, double or triple that secured by real estate. Do you know anybody that would be interested in that? Boom, right? So you'll be able to create, somebody got rid of the line. Thank you. So, yeah, right? I want you guys to practice that. And now what I am going to do, I am going to turn it over to the study group section. I don't know who's doing it this week. I think it's Leslie. I am going to go on mute. And I believe this week it is Tax and Legal 2 with Mr. Mark Kohler.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Tonight, Mark Andres is going to go over the portion of Tax and Legal 2 with Mark Kohler, chapters 1 through 15, Mark, I think is where you went.
17, I believe.
Okay, go ahead. Take over, bud.
All right. I want to thank Jose for the great training he always provides us on Tuesday. Like he says, welcome everybody. So let's get into this. Just going to hit some key points. Mark Kohler gets into a lot of confusing diagrams sometimes, so you're going to have to definitely watch this Tax and Legal a couple of times to kind of fully understand. But what he really wants us to do is so we make money, make wise decisions on how we spend our money, right? He wants us to have an emergency fund for at least 3 months, liquid, and another 3 months of semi-liquid. So keep that in mind. Something you're going to want to do. Also, what do you value? Make tough decisions, sticking to them. He also had a funny video that he played, which was kind of cool. So the message was, don't buy stuff that you can't afford. And they kind of went to this little scenario or play stuff was kind of funny. So, keep an eye on that. So short term is really, you're going to want to S corp for that. Long term, you're going to want to do LLCs. So long-term rentals, you want your LLCs. Operation will be kind of like an S corp. Short-term rentals. So who can tell me what kind of contribution plans that are available now? Go ahead and type in the chat. If not, take yourself off mute. We'll give you a few seconds. So what ones do we have? There's at least 5 of them that I can think of off the top of my head. Anybody? Not, I'll just pick somebody out of the crowd. Question is, what contribution plans are available? I'll give you one to start off with. Pension plans, 401k, definitely. Thank you. Anybody else? We got Roths, there you go, and we got self-directed, perfect. You guys are on it, good job. So what he wants us to do, there's some 3 steps that he really wants us to do is to put money away, invest that money, and be able to take it out. So those are kind of the 3 steps he wants us to do. What's the difference between an IRA and a Roth? Can anybody tell me that? Leslie, you got the answer? Taxes, right. So an IRA is tax deferred. You can pull the money out, then you get taxed. A Roth, you pay tax before, right? Before you even put the money in. All right. So what can we invest in a self-directed IRA? What are some of the things that we can invest in? So, one of them, easy real estate. What are some of the other ones? Anybody? Sports tickets, Super Bowl tickets. There you go. That'll work. He's okay with that. Mobile homes you can buy, small businesses, franchises, stocks, right? Gold, silver. What are some of the things that you can't invest in? Anybody? Immediate family? So will your 401k company penalize you at all for using on real estate a car? That I don't know. I'm not sure on that. I want to give you an answer and it'd be wrong. I want to double check on in his classes. So what you can't invest in self-directed is collectibles, right? So like wine, paintings, things of that nature, right? Coins, stuff like that. All right, so let's move on. Let's see. So why does Wall Street not push self-directed? Does anybody know why? Wall Street's all about, invest in stocks, this and that. Why do you think Wall Street is not a big proprietor of self-directed? Pretty easy. Exactly. They don't make a profit or a commission, so that's why they don't push that product, right? Good job, Frank. All right, so let's move on to some other things here. So there's three things that he talked about when we're doing investing. There's a lender, a partner, and an investor, right? So there are three different things that you do. A lender is when they're loaning you money, right? A partner is just a piece of the profit, whatever. You can have 5 to 7 partners. An investor is pretty much like a silent partner, or you can go PPMs, crowdfunding, hedge fund, things of that nature. Because they're crooks. Yeah, exactly. All right, and then he got into healthcare. So that's a crazy one there. So what kind of healthcare, is there? He has he likes the Kohler care. What is Kohler care? Can you guys tell me what he says Kohler care is about? There's 7 bullet points he had. Kohler care, right? So he wanted you to minimize or avoid any Obama taxes, right? That's one of them. Another one was to choose the right health insurance. Don't pay the insurance penalty. Deduct your health insurance correctly. Small business health care tax credits. Health savings account, which is an SHA. And a health reimbursement arrangement is HRA. So those are kind of a couple of the main ones he's talking about. Yes, using HA is like a self-directed self-insurance, exactly. So you could actually take money out of that if you wanted to. He also talked about different health plans. So if you're pretty healthy, he said go with the bronze, because there's 4 different types, right? There's bronze, there's silver, there's gold, and there's platinum. So the bronze is the least expensive, which is pretty much one where you're the most healthiest. The platinum is the most expensive, where you have a lot of medical issues. So, look into that, see where you're at, see if that's something you want to do or check into it. And then, so enrollments are always in January. He likes to see if you can deduct your premiums as a small business. That's something to look at. And then, he has a diagram on deducting out of your pocket for the HSA and the HRA, I'm sorry. And let's see. That's about it that I have. Went that pretty fast. So I'm good, Leslie. What's next? Any questions?
Who is exempt from having to get insurance?
Who is exempt from getting insurance?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, he said people that are already covered by their employer, Medi-Cal, military coverage, Medicaid, Medi-Cal, income is too low, member of healthcare sharing ministry. I think that's what he promotes too.
Oh yeah, if you're a member or Indian tribe, you're exempt. If you're a member of Congress, you don't need the Obamacare.
And he says join Congress.
Yeah, if you join Congress, then you don't have to worry about insurance. So, go figure, because they're the ones that made it up. So, yeah, those are part of the ones that are exempt from having Obamacare. So,
good job, Mark. So, are you going to finish the second half for us? When did you?
I will.
Okay, which one did you stop at? Did you stop at
17?
17. So we'll do 17 through 32.
34, I believe it is.
No, it's 32.
Oh, I'm sorry. 32.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. That'd be great. All right, thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Go over your classes. You can always learn more. We only retain 7% the first time, so the second time we retain a little bit more, especially if you're wanting to really save money on taxes. Use of Mark Kohler's knowledge, because he really does benefit the Renatus community and tax breaks for us. Super awesome. Okay, Jose, back to you.
That was pretty fast.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you, Mr. Mark. So next week, you guys have the rest of that. So you guys have Mark Kohler, Tax and Legal 2, second half. Before we wrap this call up, you guys have any questions for me? Mr. Kenneth, yes, you can email Kohler directly. Just call his office called KKOS Lawyers. They have an office in Irvine and Utah. Cedar City, Utah. Alrighty, guys. So remember the events. Stockton tomorrow. Sacramento has a Super Saturday. Regionals is coming up. Remember on the 21st, I will be traveling, so I don't know if I'll be able to do the call. One of you guys will have to step up and do the call, or you guys can meet up. We'll figure that out as we go. So you guys have anything else for me tonight, or I'm going to wrap this bad boy up? Alrighty, well, you guys make it a great week. Thank you guys. Congratulations. Make it happen. Don't forget your guys' 50 text messages. 50 people. Have a great one.